Unions built the middle class. That's a fact. So let's keep going. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now.
So let me tell you, I interviewed a few workers here last night, and they were completely and totally ambivalent about Biden coming here. Some of them basically supported Trump, and some of them says, okay, I support Biden, but we don't believe that Biden has really done enough, and we don't believe that Trump has done enough to help workers. So at the end of the day, I think they're saying, okay, we'll accept the president walking on our picket line, the first president ever to do so. But does that really mean we're going to get a settlement out of this because Biden walked our picket line? They don't think so.
Live from downtown Detroit, it's No BS News Hour with my main man, Charlie.
No bullshit!
This is just it, breaking news. No more bullshit. No more bullshit.
I'm Grace Karros, and I'm third generation of American Coney Island. People say Detroit's a comeback city. I say, where you been? We've been here for over 100 years. My family's been here on the same corner, serving our famous proprietary American Coney Island hot dog. So like always, we're keeping things fresh, updated, and new. We'd love to have you come downtown and visit us, but if you can't, you can always go to AmericanConeyIsland.com, order a Coney kit, get it delivered fresh right to your door.
Hall Financial is putting more money in your pocket with our exclusive no-fee home loan. That's right, you pay no fees to Hall Financial. So in addition to our nearly 6,000 five-star reviews and our average 9-day turn time from application to close, you now pay no fees to Hall Financial. This is going to save you up to $2,500 in fees that you'd normally pay to the other guys. Start saving now, 866-CALL-HALL, or chat with us at callhallfirst.com.
This message of Uplift is brought to you by business and personal wealth advisor Luke Nowacki, who reminds you that what does it profit a man to gain the whole world but never enter the kingdom of God? But while you're waiting, Nowacki wants you to remember that overreaction is not a sound financial strategy. So call Luke Nowacki at 248-663-4748 for sound financial advice.
Is that it? Okay, we got to go. We got a big show. I'm not even going to tell you about it. It's show 289.
Wow, congratulations, Charlie.
Congratulations, Karen.
You're Mark.
Do you remember when I asked you to marry me? I didn't ask you to marry me.
No, don't say that, because they were always asked, like, how do you and Charlie kind of hook up and get along?
Because you're my TV wife, my work wife.
I know, and that's okay. We
get the job done. Okay.
We get the job done.
If I needed that kind of affection, I would go home.
I said,
am I your work?
Okay.
Am I your work child?
Dude, you're the neighbor with no neck.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
that's
don't
about
say
right.
That.
Well, he was the one saying it before the show.
I know, but I won't like when he says that.
I never said such a thing.
Okay, don't say that.
Okay, all right.
Let's go. We got
busy.
We got the Wolverine Watchmen who were acquitted.
Oh, wow.
We went to East Palestine with Chris Cuomo. We're on the picket lines in Detroit, and we have James Hohman. We had the communists on. Mm-hmm. We had the conservatives on. We had the progressives on. We had the millionaire class on. Now we have the libertarian class on to tell us what's going on with this tax. We got everything. Do we have commercials?
No, we're good.
Oh, yeah. Having a drink then. All right, here, real quick now. Okay, East Palestine, Ohio. Remember East Palestine, Ohio? They let off the bomb.
Right.
They let off the train cars that held all of this very toxic vinyl chloride that when you light it on fire, it turns into World War I gas that you're not allowed to drop on soldiers. Chris Cuomo, I can now say, good friend of the show.
He's your new BFF?
He's now an F.
An F?
Ooh. He's an F. I'm gonna drop the BFF bullshit. He's an F.
He's an F? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's a fucker.
Oh, no, I meant a friend.
Well, you're from fucking Long Island.
Well, there's a worse F word for him.
And he's a friend, and he went and he did a special, and you can look that up, and it was quite good. Everybody forgot. It was.
I watched it. Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was good.
How was I?
But you were excellent, Charlie. You looked good. You know, you spoke well. You were dressed nice, and you look like you smell good. So all that.
I smelled like Phosgene.
No, you did not. You didn't look.
Well, who was better, me or Chris?
Honestly, and don't tell him, but you. I mean, because you came. Can I say this, or I shouldn't say this?
You are, yes.
He doesn't listen, even though we're. I have to say.
Okay.
We're a top in iTunes. Unchartable. Is this correct, Mark? Yes. We're a top 200 news and politics show in the United States of America. Wow. Top 200 in a broke down town and a broke down
penthouse
above a hot dog restaurant. Yes. In America. This is Detroit. This is Michigan. You're coming through, and we don't bullshit.
But that's because substance always takes precedence over style.
That is correct. But what's more interesting is me. What? Tell me about me and Cuomo.
Don't tell him. But you seemed a lot more relaxed and in command of what was happening and what was transpiring. He seemed, like he wanted to do well, and you could tell, like he was, instead of just kind of relaxing and just being himself. I'm gonna have to call him. It's time for another session. But he did a great job. You did an excellent job. The show was good. It was informative. It was very insightful. Because it made me think about how you always talk about the least of those economically are always on the short end of the stick in this country.
They get dick. Nobody's paying attention. In defense of Cuomo, when you got to run a goddamn live show and
I know, but he did a good job.
New York flocks on a town.
I just wanted to stroke your ego, Charlie, and let you know.
Doing. The squares on this shirt are stretching. The thing about running a show like that, where New York's investing a lot of money, it's got to work. The guy didn't use a teleprompter.
Yeah,
the guy did his work, but
you can tell he cares too. That's another thing.
He does,
and that comes across quite sincerely. That he really cares about those folks. It's almost like you can see, like he wish he could do something to solve their problem. That's what I felt in his conversation with them. I really did.
So when we're running around this town, here's the deal about East Palestine, Ohio. It's very much like Flint, and we covered Flint very much last week. But they're forgotten, and the government's faking it, and the EPA's bullshitting. And so we went around the town for a couple of days, and this was on our show a couple weeks ago. Nice young woman, comely young woman, at the EPA Welcome Center. We need some answers. We go back
and
let's play this here.
Welcome Center. Come on in, it says.
Hey, how you doing, bud? How are you? Chris Cuomo, News Nation. How you doing? Appreciate you coming out. Charlie and I and the team are walking around East Palestine trying to get a feel for how it's working in the community. And one of the main things that we've been hearing won't be new to you. It'll be concerns about what's in their home. Just off the top of your head, do you know that you've tested anyone's homes?
Well, I was installed as a PIO on Thursday last week. I'm not aware of requests coming in for that.
Thursday last week.
Have you ever heard of the EPA testing anybody's homes?
So for this response, or in general?
No. For here, East Palestine.
Yeah, so it just depends on what you're specifically looking at. So I mean, when you say testing, I just want to make sure that.
But so far, it's like today,
testing.
You believe it's safe?
There's nothing from the time I've been here. There's nothing, no concern, no new concerns have been brought up.
I see you're United States EPA.
Yes.
And there's Ohio EPA, right? And there's OSHA. Is OSHA in town?
I've not heard of that.
Okay, and there's people. Who's in charge of this town?
So I've worked for, just to clarify, so I work for the federal United States Environmental Protection Agency. So EPA, we've got our incident commander, who is the lead.
Who's that?
Unified Command.
Who's that?
Currently, it's Ralph. Yeah, so he's our incident commander.
We want Ralph.
Okay.
Can we have Ralph?
So we can. So Mark is
Durno.
Yes,
he's the guy.
Speaks on behalf of.
We asked the office about him talking
for Mark.
Yeah, Mark didn't want to talk to us. That's why I figured if I were in town, I would just come by. Not to put you on the spot, honestly. This is not about you making you look like.
No, this stinks for you.
But this is. you shouldn't have to do this. These should be your bosses. But I just wanted to ask you, and let Mr. Durno know we came by, and we'll be here. Look, Austin, you're on the ground, and you're doing your job. The guys who are supposed to be putting out the message are ducking us, and that's their choice.
That was
You don't have
kind
to
of him to
comment
tell
on
him that.
But we just wanted to let you know we're here, and if they want to talk, we'll be here. Let them know we'll be here. Now, before you judge, it's not fair to judge that guy.
No.
He's not a boss. He's not the guy who's supposed to be giving the answers. He's the guy who didn't have the ability to get out of it. That's who he is. So don't judge him. He's not the one who's going to make things happen. But the people who are making things happen, who are his bosses, they think they can say no and it just goes away. It's not how it works.
That was good.
Yeah, right.
That was very good because he's not. He's been there since last Thursday. He's probably 20-some years old. It's like, here, be the PIO, and you're not given the information. He didn't even know Ralph's last name.
They didn't even tell that kid
I
that
know.
Cuomo was calling and he was coming to town. They didn't tell him that. So that kid's all right.
he's a scapegoat.
But hey, kid, listen, man, get on the right side. Get on the right side of people, right? Because that's what this election is supposedly about. But what Ralph was he talking about? Was he talking about Ralph Cramden?
I'm going to the moon!
Was he talking about Ralphie Parker from the Christmas Story?
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Was he talking about Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid?
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand.
Stay with me, millennials. Was he talking
Like,
about Ralph Mouth?
But it's tough to make a chinchilla go like this. I still got it.
I love poetry. Was he talking about Ralph Waldo Emerson?
Finish every day and be done with it. You have done what you could.
I like handbags. Was he talking about Ralph Lauren?
Pour moi, l'élégance, ça vient naturellement d'une femme qui se sent bien dans ce qu'elle porte.
No. He must have been talking about Cheech Marin.
His name is Ralph, man.
Who the fuck is in charge of East Palestine? Ralph Palestine EPA. Ralph, come out, Ralph. Ralph, it ain't going away, dude. It ain't going away. And so the point here is, Biden on his desk as we reported the governor of Ohio, another war crime criminal. War time. Hold on.
I can't help you on that one.
I got off the beer.
Oh, good for you,
Charlie.
Shirley.
Too many calories because I was in East Palestine. I was in a motel, and I got out of the
motel.
Motel. Yeah. What do you think, Dave?
East
There's a
Palestine.
Four Seasons in East Palestine.
I don't know. They don't.
I got out of the shower, and they got the big glass, and with the stark light, and I got out of the shower, and I'm like, oh my god, this sheen of cellulite. I'm like,
No, it's the mirrors. It's
so
always
I
the mirrors.
googled beer. You know what it told me?
What?
Drink whiskey.
Oh, okay.
That's what it said.
You'll get used to that image.
What? The wrinkles or the whiskey?
How you look in the mirror.
Oh, okay.
I don't even look, bro. I just look away. I look away. Now, but here's the thing. Do we have our cool thing that we're going to do?
Of course.
Joe Biden said he was going to go to East Palestine. He said it. The funny thing is, when he came to Detroit the other day, he flew you can Google it, the flight plan. I don't know why the flight plan for Air Force One is on an app, but you can find it. He flew directly over East Palestine. He landed in Detroit. He spoke for 87 seconds. Shook a few hands. What are you doing? Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
87
Look at that fade. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute, dude. We'll fix that in post.
No, we won't. There he is.
There, he almost stumbled again.
Yeah, he stumbled. They talked about that.
Yeah, he's wearing rubber shoes.
He's driving to the closest plant to the airport.
Yeah, well, Belleville. Is that where he was? There he is.
And he didn't go to the plant in Wayne, which everybody thought that he would, but he didn't.
They didn't tell the press where he was going.
Probably
They didn't tell the press where he was going. Now, I don't know about
There he's taking off.
the president. And guess where he's going? He went over Palestine, landed in Detroit, did about an hour and a half, did 87 seconds of comment, and then you can see, you should all go to like Twitter or YouTube, look up LeDuff, No Bullshit News Hour or whatever. And he flew to San Francisco for 2 days of fundraising. Yep. This is not the way to win.
But that's their priority. I mean, and you've seen that. We've seen that here with our state officials. You know, they're out. That's the priority.
And you know who's making these decisions?
Who?
The kid that they put in East Palestine. You know what he's doing? He's paying his dues, and he taking one for the team, and he gets to be one of the speakers for the people, and that's not good enough for us. It's absolutely not good enough for us. So Biden lands in Wayne County. Don't call it Detroit.
Right, because it wasn't.
Do it again, girl. Go ahead.
It was not.
Here's your go ahead, rip it. Like Detroit is Wayne County, but it's a different world.
Right, that was Belleville. That's right.
Now, Belleville is East Palestine. Okay, and Youngstown is Detroit.
Right.
They're 20 minutes apart. This is all of America.
Yep.
Okay, so Byron Goggin, who's now this motherfucker, is in Green Bay watching the game. And I got to sit here and do a show. I wasn't even invited. So, Byron, you're not even listening, but you are because you're a professional
But
prick.
he did his work before he left.
Fuck you. We're here doing the show. But the spine of the show is Byron Goggin doing his business. And Byron Goggin went to the line where we're from. And this is what he found. This is what the auto worker thinks about being a photo op. So far, so good. Look at this. Wow. This guy's brilliant.
What Sean Fain did was brilliant. He puts Biden and I guess anybody who wants to muscle in and steal the glory away from the strikers by pretending that somehow they settled the strike, when in actual fact it'll only be settled by negotiators from UAW. So he sent a signal to all politicians, you're welcome on my picket line, but you're not going to interfere in the bargaining process. It's going to be the workers and the bargaining committee that's going to solve this problem.
Lines when I was a senator since 1973, but I tell you what, first time
Did he just say he picketed in 97?
Pawns in their chessboard to get more voters on their side, because either way you're divided in this whole strike currently with the UAW. You're either against us or you're for us. So whatever their political campaign agrees with, that's what they're going to go for.
If they would have come before and we could have talked during a peaceful time, it would have been a lot more respected than what I can give them now.
We're not trying to be political right now. It's more about us. It's not about them.
I don't believe either one, either Biden or Trump, really has our best interests at heart. I don't really think that they're really fighting for us. They're just fighting for power, in my opinion.
Trying to break the line.
I think we're supporting it.
UAW squad!
We made our point.
The Teamsters are jumping. Try it.
This isn't day one of our strike. You know, we walked out on Friday, but our other brothers and sisters walked out prior. Where were they then? Where were they for our other brothers and sisters? So don't get me wrong, I appreciate the support from anyone, whether it be, you know, the person next door to another person from another local, but at the end of the day, Biden or Trump, they need to support keeping our products here in America.
I was in this exact same position in 2019, and no one came and shook my hand and said, hang in there, stand up, be patient, it's coming. Nobody said that. We didn't get the contract that we deserved 4 years ago, and here we are again.
They could have came out and supported us before this all happened. People are, you know, unhappy about that. You know, they feel like it's just for publicity, kind of like a, you know, attention grab. You know, be the first guy to say, hey, I'm supporting these guys and their plight and what they're fighting for, when really we don't feel like either one of them has been supporting us at all.
If they really want to help, there's different ways with legislation, or in Michigan's unemployment itself hasn't changed since I got in the trade in 1998. You know, there's other things that they could do to show their support other than get out for a photo op and shake a few hands.
Unions built the middle class. That's a fact. So let's keep going. You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now.
So let me tell you, I interviewed a few workers here last night, and they were completely and totally ambivalent about Biden coming here. Some of them basically supported Trump, and some of them says, okay, I support Biden, but we don't believe that Biden has really done enough, and we don't believe that Trump has done enough to help workers. So at the end of the day, I think they're saying, okay, we'll accept the president walking on our picket line, the first president ever to do so. But does that really mean we're going to get a settlement out of this because Biden walked our picket line? They don't think so.
I feel like there's a kind of a workers' change now with, it's not just us. I mean, there's a lot of UAW places that are striking now, and it's the most that I've seen ever.
I'm very apolitical on where I stand by who chooses to do the right thing and when, and what they do when no one's looking. That's what I go by.
If they want my vote, they need to stop lying to us. And they need to actually show that they care. Because this is all fine and dandy and everybody's here now, right? But we'll see how everything goes in a few weeks or months, and then we'll see if they're still engaged as they are now.
So that's Michigan people.
Yeah.
Reported on by Michigan people. This is what we think. Fuck you, CNN, and fuck you, Fox News. And this is what we actually think, and we talk true to each other. So accept it or don't.
Yeah, but that's pretty powerful, and I think that, you know, for either of them to come in and think that their presence alone was going to garner them any additional support, whether it's at the voting booth or whatever, those people are like, yeah, sure, come, but we're looking for substance. We're looking for results. We're looking for something more than just you exploiting our pain right now for your political advantage.
And they all know that Biden jumped Trump. Because Trump was going to be here Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Wednesday was yesterday.
It's all a game, Charlie.
Yeah, okay, you want to see the game? Here's the game from Trump's bullshit, too. Here you go. Thank you, Byron Goggin, and roll it.
My name is Claire, and I've been a member of the union for 2 years.
What are you hoping to hear from them tonight?
I'm hoping that they will come to a solution, and this will get settled, and Trump will save our country.
Are you guys a member of the union?
No, we don't.
No? You're not members of the union?
No.
You're retired. Oh, you're retired? Yeah. So you used to be union members? Yes. Are you guys union by any chance? I just need to talk to a union. Are you a union guy? I'm not. No? Are you union by any chance? I'm just trying to talk to a union person. No. No. Anybody here union?
I work with UAW workers. I am currently laid off. I really believe that UAW workers need to get their increase in pay, their increase in benefits, and I want Trump to say it. I want him to be loud and proud about UAW workers supporting Trump and also Trump supporting UAW workers.
Anybody UAW here?
I'm on the list.
UAW? Hey, great. Mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Yeah, I do.
Are you? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do.
I'm thinking for me.
Prick.
Oh, you do mind. Okay. All right. You mind?
I don't know.
You don't have to. I was just going to ask you what you wanted to hear from President Trump tonight.
Nothing specific. Just want to hear him talk.
What do you think about the fact that he's given a speech to union people in a non-union shop? Does that send a bad signal to the union members that he's giving an address to union people in a non-union shop?
To me, absolutely not. He needs to be everywhere.
You mentioned Drake. They're not a union shop. Does that make a difference? How do you feel about that?
I have no problem with it. Most manufacturing jobs in the United States are not. Their workers are not union represented. There's no need for the union. The union in the UAW plants, I found, have devolved into an organization that protects the 10% of the workers who don't deserve to keep their jobs. They don't show up for work, they don't come in on time. When they do show up, they're drunk or smoking marijuana. So that's who the union is protecting now. Really, the need for big, strong, confrontational unions like the UAW has gone away.
But I'm a little confused. You're holding a sign that says UAW workers
no, it doesn't.
for Trump.
No, it doesn't.
So it's just auto workers. So
it's auto workers.
So that's not clear, though.
Well, it's clear to me.
Well, everybody sucks.
Pretty much.
Come on, man. Now everybody sucks. Now, before we get to the next bit, let me just tell you, ADR experience overseeing more than $250 million in public-private construction projects since 2001. Reduce your costs, increase your bottom line. ADR saving clients millions. ADR consultants are experts in procurement and government compliance and information technology. ADR, honest, ethical, smart. Ellen Tuck, Barry. Happy Yom Kippur, but it's not even happy Yom Kippur. It is a blessed Yom Kippur. 248-318-9424. Call Barry Ellen Tuck for a consultation. Get the job done right, on time, on budget. ADR 248-318-9424. And I am feeling stressed. Give me my CBD, bro.
Okay.
Give it to me.
I don't have any on me.
Fucking lie.
I need to order some more.
I don't like advertising that's not true, bro, but I would tell you.
I have some at home. I'll bring it in for you.
You can order some.
How are you feeling right now?
25% off.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm feeling great because I use
25% off. You're feeling great. What do you mean?
Well, because I use Next Evo.
Did it fuck your memory up? Were you so high you couldn't remember to bring some for your brother?
There's no THC in it.
There's no THC in it, but it relaxes you, get some sleep,
Puts me to bed, yeah.
and you forget about me.
What?
You forget about me. That's what you do. Like, make him go away. Let me take some CBD. Make him go away. The stress.
He needs something a little stronger than that.
Yeah, we got a back there.
Is there a promo code for that one?
Yo, there is.
Is it red?
NEXTEVO / Hey, listen, next Evo, people. You want me to keep reading this copy? Listen, it should be Next Evo / red. It should be red. And the man knows everything THC. You just hook up with him. But everybody in this room knows these things don't make you high. Actually, are you on the phone again?
No, I was just stretching my legs. I'm not on the phone.
How was your physical therapy?
It's fine, Charlie. I have to just keep at it, but it's all right. Thank you for asking.
Try the CBD oils, and
I do. I have the cream. I have all that stuff.
There you go.
I do. The little stick.
Oh my God, that sounds hot. some cream in a stick. I mean,
oh my God.
What are we doing after the show, baby? I tell you what we're doing. We are Googling nextevo.com /nobs. Thank you very much. And Legacy Partners. A Legacy, we got a busy show, so I'm just going to give the number. Everybody knows that listen to this show that if you call 586-209-4106, you drive around in your truck in Garden City, you're in East Palestine, they go across state lines. 586-209-4106. They'll find you better, cheaper insurance. Period. End of story. Let's move along. Next, Legacy. Fucking shit.
Oh, you're right. You're good.
No. LegacyPartnersINS.com. Call them East Palestine. Get them involved. They'll help you. All right.
Are they just in Michigan? Or are they?
I just said they weren't.
Okay. I didn't hear you.
I just came up with a whole fucking model for these people. Pay me more. You're not paying me enough, Legacy. You got some business. I just got you Ohio.
Yep.
All right. Here. If I don't get a call from Legacy in the next 10 minutes, you're out. You're out. I don't care. I don't care, man. I'm big. I'm 200 in America. I don't even have to do Fox, New York Times, NPR, none of that shit. We here are the people. And the people is working because you people know that we're the people. Sometimes you agree, sometimes you don't, but we're trying to keep you informed. Is this correct?
That is absolutely correct,
Right.
Charlie.
That's right. God damn it. I'm mad. What do we got next, Mark? Oh, yeah, that's right. You know what? Everybody really liked the last segment, Dum Dum Dana. We got a new segment.
Dum dum dum. Dum 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 dum. Dum 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 Dana.
Yeah, well, it happened again last week. Dana Nessa suffered another devastating loss. 3 men accused of aiding and abetting in the terrorist plot to kidnap and put on a boat, take her to Wisconsin, take the Governor Whitmer to Wisconsin, try her in a barn for what were they?
Treason? I don't know.
Treason, yeah. What else? We're going to find out.
Some
right?
generic, yeah.
Right. Convict her and then lock her in a dog cage for 5 years. Either that or put her in a boat and let her drift around Lake Michigan. I'm not sure. We're going to find out, because with us now is Eric Molitor, one of 3 men last week that was acquitted of all these charges. He's a former Wolverine Watchman terrorist, but he's not.
Co-conspirator. Yeah.
Co-conspirator. Hello, Eric. Wolverine Watchman. How do you get into the Wolverine Watchman?
Well, I never was in the Wolverine Watchman.
What do you mean you weren't in the Wolverine Watchman? Dana said you were a Wolverine Watchman. You were the governor called you. No, I'm sorry. The official said you were a Wolverine Watchman. What do you mean you weren't?
Well, I'd hate to call them a liar. However, they are. It's just a way for them to try to slander me and drag my name through the mud and kind of make me guilty in the eyes of the public before I even had a trial.
So what happened here was, like, a bunch of guys met on Facebook, right? They're bitching about the government. They're bitching about Whitmer and the lockdown. And they hatched this plot. They're going to kidnap her and take her to the barn, right? And so you all start meeting. Is that correct, Eric?
Correct. I was never part of any meetings, know about any plans. I didn't know anything. I didn't know the people. I knew of Adam Fox. The guy had gotten me a job, private security. So I was pretty grateful to him, especially during 2019, 2020, when jobs were really get.
Okay, first of all, we should say this. The whole thing, the captain of this whole thing was a guy named Big Dan, Oh, this right? poor dumb redneck.
Yeah, Dan. He was the confidential human source, the original CHS for the FBI.
Dan Chappell, who sees chatter going on Facebook. He alerts the authorities. He's put in touch with the FBI. They put him on the payroll. And he becomes pretty much the de facto leader of the group, right?
Within 2 weeks, he was second in command. The group actually supposedly wanted him for first in command, but that would have been against his FBI admonishments. So he was told that he could not be first. He could only be second.
So he's the guy putting together training. He's the guy putting together meetings. He's the guy paying for people to get to Ohio to meet at a motel, right? And it's all FBI money.
So altogether, there were 14 different undercovers and confidential humans. All of them game amongst themselves. So Dan was not the only one giving the training, giving people rides, paying for food, paying for lodging. There were most.
God, this connection sucks. I think the government's fucking bugging us here. Okay, so 14 people were working for the feds. How many people were just mopes like you?
I guess about 14.
So half of this group is actually the feds.
Yes, sir.
And without the feds, would you guys have done this, done the recon, gone up to her house, met, did training in the woods, et cetera, et cetera?
None of this stuff would have happened without the feds getting involved and making it happen. Dan Chappell, I call him the magnet that the government put out to attract everybody else. There are always, I hate saying it, but kind of dangerous elements or people that talk crazy. There's always people that do that. So why would you put somebody out there to draw them all together and then feed them plans? And like I said, they paid for traveling, lodging, all sorts. This is interstate. So this is not just within Michigan.
Well, how did you get linked up with it then? If you're not one of them, how do you find yourself in a truck with an FBI informant, right? Looking at the governor's house, taking pictures. We'll get to whether or not that's intent or not. But how do you even get hooked up with them if you're not one of them?
Okay, so this is going to take a little bit, man. It's going to take more than 15 minutes probably. Is that okay?
No. Give me the 2-minute version. You got it. People will find you and read about you.
I met Adam through. I got up with him because he wanted to keep talking about starting another militia, 2nd Continental Army of the U.S., which I was, pretty hip on. They made the job, private security. I felt pretty indebted to him for that. I was already involved in civil defense force in my area and doing a lot of, I call it good guy stuff. So protecting community from rioters. So Adam had asked me, do you want to go for a ride to this weekend? I asked him, yeah, what do you have in mind? He said a high profile vacation house. I have the text. You see there's nothing explicit stated about Governor Whitmer. So ahead with everything, I'm thinking more good guy stuff. Go look at this place, protect it, or whatever. So him and Dan, I barely know Adam. They show up and we go on a ride. The whole way up there, they did not talk about anything. And then we have the 5-hour audio to prove that as well. I get about an hour away from home, and that's when they start talking about Governor Whitmer and her cottage. That's when I knew.
You mean on the way home you found out? You didn't even know while you were there what you were looking at?
And we got in Rapids, where her cottage, her former cottage is at. That's when they started actually talking about Governor Whitmer's cottage. They saying her name and talking about what they were going to do.
And so why didn't right there you just say, hey, dude, I'm out?
I get this question a lot. So if these people are willing to kidnap and whatever else another human being, how far are they willing to go to keep my ass quiet? I'm a nobody. I didn't know that dude was a confidential human source. I barely know Adam. The guys are talking crazy shit. They got guns on them. No, I'm not going to make them think that I'm not okay.
That's point.
What did you do while you were up there at the cottage?
So on one of the rides by, they eventually found her place. And on one of the rides by, Adam Fox had asked me to take a slow motion picture or video on his phone. This was after he had already taken a couple videos. And, he didn't say shoot somebody or blow anything up. That would have been a hard no. I'd have had made a stand right there. He said, take a slow motion video. I took a video. If that's what I had to do to get home to my kids, that's what I did.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
So because I did that, that was the fellow. So throughout the ride, right, there's different stages. When Adam first asked me about going on the ride, this is a cool dude. We got high. We talked about militia stuff and getting our country back, doing things the right way. Cool dude. Got me that job at. Then here's the new Adam. Once they start talking about what they're doing, I'm scared shitless. This guy's scary. Throughout the ride, everything that was going on did not lend credence to what they were talking about. They didn't have her address. They drove all the way from Lansing. They didn't have her address. They don't know anything. They're hunting it down as they're up there. I see Dan roll eyes at Adam a couple of times on the ride. So there's two people, and one of them seems like he's not really into it like Adam is into it. And Adam's acting very excitable. The gentleman was on steroids, and so he's a little more out there. You know what I mean? And it just did, by the end of it, I still had worries, obviously. People talking like that, that's worrisome. But I did not think it was serious. By the end of it, I wasn't as worried for my life. So why do I stay in contact with them? One of the reasons, because if they keep talking about it, or if I find out there's more people involved, I can actually go to the authorities with this information. I did not feel I had enough at that time, and that's a crazy ass story. Try going to the cops and be like, "You won't believe this ride I just took, bro." It's not gonna go. You know what I mean?
might have done
That's
it.
how I felt.
Yeah, but I might have done it. So there's a nut job with guns on roids, living in the basement of a vacuum cleaner repair shop, cruising around the governor's vacation home, talking about dressing as a pizza guy and kidnapping her and putting her on a boat, right? Okay, maybe he's a numbnut, but he's definitely a wing nut. And, people listening, it's hard to believe, you felt you didn't have enough.
Yeah, I went to police before with other issues. Like one guy actually, this is unrelated to this situation, but I had him get a hold of me. I don't even know this guy really, and threatened to beat my ass next time he sees me in public. I went to the police and they said, "Oh, he wasn't right next to you. There was no real valid threat to that." So, and I've had a couple other interactions where I'm unsure what is something that's actionable. What can I take to somebody? So again, one of the reasons I with these guys is so if I do hear more information, I can definitely go do something about it. Another reason was selfish. He can get steroids. I'm in private security. I'm a big guy. I would like to, trim down, get a little bulkier, try to, it's very competitive. So that was another reason for staying with them.
Wait a minute, man. You're telling me Adam Fox was your steroid dealer?
No, I did not actually get anything from him. We had talked about him getting me some, but it never came to fruition. We barely knew each other. We only knew each other for a couple of months before the raids happened.
Did you know the Null brothers who you were on trial with, the two twins?
So I know of them because of the circles that we run in. We've rubbed shoulders here and there before, and they've always been very good people. They've always been there to protect people. They've always cared about people. As far as I can remember, they're good guys.
So the guy you're driving around with is an FBI confidential human source. He taped everything, right? Everything, like you said, and the jury heard it.
Yes. They didn't get to listen to the whole for audio. The prosecution got to chop it up however they wanted to and make it seem certain ways. They, in fact, took out of 5 hours, they took something out of context and moved it back 4.5 hours. So it made it seem like as soon as I got in the truck, that they were telling me about the plan, so I knew what was going on before we even drive away. Complete lie.
Well, let me say this. I'd like to have you in because out there up in Antrim County, and the connection's bad. I mean, you're not a rich guy. You don't got the the Ethernet
fiber.
But during all of this, the governor herself called all of you, and that includes you, a domestic terrorist. Now the jury of your peers, right? No matter what people think, that's our system, and it's a pretty good one. They listen to the evidence. They said, "This is ridiculous. This is just a numbnuts got caught up in it, and you're looking to make some headlines." You're not a domestic terrorist. It's official. Are you going to sue the governor, or do you want an apology, or what are you going to do about that?
I want an apology. I think all of them owe all of us an apology for lying about, for trying to our families and hurting the people that we care about. It wasn't just us that got hurt. Our kids, our moms, everybody. This affected everybody. We deserve an apology.
For those that are acquitted, they deserve an apology. Does Adam Fox deserve an apology? I mean, they were conspiring. So they did try to make bombs, right? And, like they were ever going to get it done, I doubt it.
No.
Watching from, they don't deserve one.
No, I don't think they even deserve to be in prison. The lies that the government told about them, I know more than you guys do, than the general public, just because of the amount of evidence or the paperwork that I have. I've got to see from the inside how the FBI actually set all this up. Adam thought that Dan was a cool guy. Dan showed him attention. He was never a real terrorist. Nothing ever would have happened. They do not belong in prison. The government set them up. Yes, they deserve an apology as well.
Are you fearful of the government now? I know you're back on Facebook, which seems insane.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I don't know
what?
I don't know why you're back on Facebook.
What?
Because I want to run for office and political office, and I need to be accessible to anybody. So I'm getting on any social platform that I can. After seeing what I saw from the inside, there's stuff that needs to change, and I have a unique insight into it. We're going to see where this goes, and I'm willing to fight for the regular people, man, because I'm a nobody, and they tried to do this to me. They could have been you. It could have been anybody. They want to attack our speech. They want to attack us for political reasons, and it's enough.
But government is more than that, right? I mean, do you know what the Headley Amendment is? Do you know the property tax rates? Do you know about zoning? Do you know how many people are in the House of Representatives? How, what the Senate does? Do you know any of that? There's other things you can do.
I have a little bit of knowledge here and there. So my main goal is I'm shooting high, and I'll take whatever office I get. It's dangerous. But anyways, you asked if I was afraid of the government. First of all, yes. Yes, I am, because I saw what they could do, and I was actually warned to keep my head down because the federal government can still come after me. There's the federal government and the state government. So even though I was cleared on charges on the state side, the feds, if they wanted to, could still pick up the same exact charges and it's not double jeopardy because it's a different system. So yes, there's a fear level, but also, come on, I was already found not guilty. I'm willing to get on again.
Did you? You're like, bring it on, motherfucker? Is that what you're saying?
I'm mad.
All right, right now, give the FBI the finger. I dare you.
I want my stuff back. They took my armor, weapons, a whole bunch of stuff. They took my mom's guns. A friend who had some stuff here, and they took his shit, and they took my brother's guns as well. Some of these were family heirlooms that, I mean, you just can't get that some value back. But yeah, as far as giving them the finger, like seriously, I'm mad, dude. I am mad.
Okay, listen, Eric, man, thanks. I could go all night, but the connection ship. Let's have you in studio soon, all right, man? When you come on down to the big city. Okay, man. Thanks so much, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, when it rains, the power goes out. And when the power goes out, the internet goes out. When the internet goes out, I call my friend Matt and Bernie at XG Service Group. Look at Bernie here on his hands and knees, giving it everything he's got. Look at that man crack. So busy, he forgot to wear a belt. There's Matt right there getting the board together. That's 734-245-4100 if you need Matt and Bernie to come take care of your voice over internet, your security cameras, off-campus access control, Wi-Fi, and cameras for homes and business. They'll design it for you. You got restaurants, they do drive-through systems, railroad cameras for public safety, total wireless camera systems for your home and business. Yeah, that's right. Call XG Services at 734-245-4100. Mention No Bullshit News Hour and receive 100% off.
Charlie, what did we just watch? Not the butt crack, the interview.
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm not really sure. I just, first of all, he'd make the ideal politician. I mean, he's got all the issues.
He never should have been charged.
Yeah, but it's almost, how old is he?
Late 20s.
28 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just like you said, Mark, during the break. He's naive, and he got caught up in something. But that was a very interesting interview. I want my mama's guns back.
Not guilty.
Yeah.
No. Let's move along to the next thing.
There's more?
Yes.
There's more?
Put him on the screen. James Hohman from the Macomb.
We got Cary Grant?
He looks like Cary Grant.
He does.
He does. If you don't know who Cary Grant is, millennials.
I know. They don't know what's going on. There he is.
Sorry.
Charlie.
What? I'm a smoker. What?
I know, but those germs.
But the germs. Hey, James. Hey, Cary.
Hey, Charlie.
So listen now, we got to go to the next thing. We got to get out of here. It's perfect. I'm looking at this thing. We got 10 minutes, man. You better wow me, motherfucker. All right, listen now. The Detroit land tax value scheme. It barely cleared committee. This thing is. What is this thing, Karen? This thing is basically, we're going to take the tax value off your house and put it on your land. James, the suburbs didn't go for this. It's now stuck on the city. Does this scheme, and I call it a scheme, look like it's going to work for the city?
I think it will. I mean, the biggest hesitation.
I think you're wrong.
Committee.
But go on. Do you think it'll work?
I mean, the biggest hesitations that you saw in committee, and I think that you've expressed, is like just a lack of trust. The mayor's doing this, he's supporting it, and a lot of people feel burned by the mayor. But when you look at the proposal, what they're talking about, it's just substituting one tax for another on a dollar-for-dollar basis, and the tax that they're substituting in raises as much revenue without causing as much harm to the Detroit economy as the property tax. And Detroit's got high property taxes, some of the highest in the country. This does something about that.
So when you say that it'll work, is it to work meaning to generate revenue or work to incite development? Because that's part of the information that I've heard, that it's supposed to encourage development and to stop people that are just sitting on empty land, that it would spur development. And I asked you this when we talked the other day about what about all the developed properties that sit unoccupied or underoccupied now? So where's the win in this?
Yeah, so the reason why I like land value taxes, and why a lot of other people do, it's not just me. It's
because you're libertarian.
Libertarians are conflicted on this. Land value taxes are theft to a lot of libertarians too. But let me at least cover Karen's question, which is like, look, Detroit's got high property taxes. It's got a lot of vacant land. The vacant land's not worth a lot. The carrying costs of it are pretty low, even with high taxes, because the land's not worth that much. But you build something on it, and now you're faced with the highest taxes in the world on a valuable structure. So the land value tax is a way to say, okay, if I build on something, if I give something that the market wants, that people want, more housing options, I'm not going to be faced with a higher tax burden. Now, that's not the case for this proposal. It's only dealing with a portion of the property tax, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a good idea.
But does it work? Let's just, does it work? I'll throw that. Go on. Yeah. Does it work? Do we biggest... Look, let's do a few things here, man. First of all, you're going to let me take a sip of the whiskey. First of all, somehow this has to come out even. It has to come out even. You know as well as I know that the guy that owns the big skyscraper is going to make out. You know that when you develop something on land, that on the land, that's only what you're going to be taxed on, right? So far, so good?
He's shaking his head, yes.
It's radio, dude. Come on. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm following you.
So now I got a vacant lot. I built a 30-story fucking apartment complex. I'm only being taxed as the developer on the land, but not what I put upon it. How does this create equanimity?
So in this proposal, it's only a portion of it that you're not that you're getting a deal on. But you're absolutely right. Land
wait a minute. I'm absolutely right. There's not equity in this scheme.
Well, I mean, there's equity in that. Like, if we have a full land value tax, everyone's just taxed on the value of their land. That's as fair as things get. But I think people would care a little bit about.
Well, let's go back. Let's go back because we just brushed over it. What you said was, you're building. You call it property, and I yelled at you last night as we were talking. Your property, we as regular people think property is your land. You're saying property is your building
structure,
and the land is the land. So in this scheme, I call it a scheme. In this scheme, you are only beholden to paying property tax to what. If you're going to make a new development, your development is only taxed upon the assessed value of the land, correct?
Yes, that's what they're taking a step in that direction.
Okay,
again, it's a halfway measure. You're taxed on both, yes, you're absolutely right.
Okay, I'm absolutely right because I trust you. I trust you. You're one of the guys I call. You're one of the guys I call, and I trust you. If that's the schematic, then if I build a 30-story condo, then everybody in the condo doesn't pay property tax like the person in Detroit who owns land pays tax. Is this correct?
Yeah, let me try and
Well,
summarize.
yes or no? Well, first of all, don't brush over
Yeah,
it. No, I know you, you foxy motherfucker. Is this true? Is this true? I'm willing. I'm
Yes,
willing to.
but let me.
Yes.
Let me.
Well,
give you-
first
give
of
a
all,
little bit-
yes, I'm willing to be drilled. But yes, now go ahead, bro.
All right, so this is a proposal that creates winners and losers. It raises the same amount of tax revenue that you expect right now, which means that some people are paying more, some people are going to pay less.
Wait a
The
minute.
mayor's
Would you
estimated-
wait a minute right there? You said we expect this to raise the same property tax value. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
But
no, don't gloss over. That's huge. What do you mean? What do you mean this expects us to raise
But
the
he
exact
said
same
but.
amount?
He said but.
No. I love this guy. Wait a minute.
So
you
this
look like
proposal-
Cary Grant, you motherfucker. He does. He could be doing so much better. This
Maybe
guy,
his son.
this guy can go to New York. He could sexerize everybody in New York. But I'm not buying him. Go on.
So this proposal says we're going to tax the value of land, and we're going to lower the tax on structures. They calculated the math, and they said, look, we can lower the property tax or the structure tax by 14 of the 80 mills that they're offering, but we're going to have to raise the tax on land by 104 mills.
Let me pause
again,
you
there's
there.
much
Let
more
me pause you.
structures
Let
than
me
property.
pause you. Let
Yeah.
me pause you there so the people know.
Yeah.
That means that the building on your land, we're gonna reduce the tax by 17%, and we're gonna increase the value on your land by 200%, and we're gonna make a mathematical equation where it comes out equal. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And the effect that you've got, though, is that the right concern is like, okay, you're going to double the tax on land for some of these people. Are they going to pay it? And if not, then it's not really revenue neutral. It winds up with the city with owning a lot more tax foreclosed land, and the city already owns a lot of tax foreclosed land.
Well, who makes out on this? Basically, do guys that own superstructures, skyscrapers, do they make out?
Yes, people
Okay.
own valuable structures on
I'm
inexpensive
not
land are the
asking you
biggest
to
beneficiaries.
pontificate. Do they make out? Do they get a cut? Do they get a cut?
Well, they don't get a cut; they get to pay less.
Well, that's called the
It's
cut,
taxes,
dude.
yeah.
I'm sorry, suburb guy. It's called the cut. That's just some street shit. It's called a cut.
But
You get a cut.
And how does it impact the average homeowner? I know you mentioned that it would have an implication on those in nice homes or nicer neighborhoods. So that certainly doesn't include everybody in the city of Detroit. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that if this were such a great proposal, why aren't the suburbs of the other cities opting in?
Boom.
That's mostly because the mayor thought of it, or the mayor is the first advocate. I mean, I think some other places might be interested in it. I mean, economists have been talking about this for 100 years, but we've had a long experience.
Are we that
with
slow
property
that it would
tax.
take 100 years?
Wait
for
a
somebody
minute.
to
Wait a
figure
minute. Wait a
out?
minute.
Well, no, economists are not very
No.
persuasive
It's my show.
I mean, that's just
my
the
show.
thing.
My show. Mine and Karen's. My show. No. This. Where's the equanimity here? Where does it actually balance out? It
Well,
smells
I
to
think
me when
that's-
I'm. Have you seen the numbers, James?
I've seen a lot of numbers in this
Have
case, but
you
I think
have you seen the estimates?
the biggest concern is the number of how many voters are going to be interested in this thing, because it has to be approved by local voters. And I
That's
think you're right
not
that
why we're
fairness
having
is
you
gonna
on
be
at the
thing.
the end of this very fucking awesome show. Do you know the numbers? Do you? Don't.
You're talking revenue numbers.
Yeah. Anything. James?
Okay.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
It's $100 million change from property taxes to land value taxes. If you own property in Detroit and your assessment says that that your property is more than, or your structure is more than 85% of the value of your property, then you're going to come out ahead. If your land value is is more than 14% of the value of your property, then you are going to come out behind. So I think those are important numbers.
Does this mean, sir, mean that some property or homeowners, let's not say property, let's just get the homeowner, some of your shit's going to go up and some of your shit's going to go down? Yes or no? That's all.
Probably. I mean, I saw some things from the mayor. There's not an actual proposal in front of voters. There's only a legislation that allows the mayor to ask for something.
You're James. No. You're James Hohman. You're James Hohman, dude. I got you on here. Cary Grant, motherfucker. You look good.
There's not a proposal in front of voters
you
yet.
do. Hey, look, if we put it up. You're bullshit, man. You know. Somebody got to pick up the fucking level. Somebody's got to pick up the level. Right?
So
yes or no?
Value tax,
don't do this, please. Yes or no?
Because I can't answer that question yet.
Well, how could you not answer the question?
because the legislation is only giving the mayor the chance to ask voters. And he said, and I have no reason to believe that he's wrong, that if you are one of those homeowners that
is wrong.
If you are one of those homeowners who has a valuable piece of land but a not valuable house on it, he's saying you're not going to have to pay that. There's some things in the legislation that would allow for that, but I don't know how it's going to play out. That's what he's saying.
Okay, that's what he's saying. But again, we also talked about the limited amount of information. Only information that was coming out was that which was coming from the mayor's office. So if in fact he's asking for it, I can only imagine that the information that he's providing is subjective. And that's the first thing. The second thing is, the inclusion in the legislation for cities only over 500,000 in the state of Michigan, which is only the city of Detroit. So we're now going back to that insurance thing. So when you talk about the lack of trust, let's look at the overassessments for for homeowners in the city of Detroit. $600 million. I mean, there's a lot of reason to question this.
Say it for real.
I am.
Why in the middle of this vote, James, did they decide to say it was for a city over 500,000? Why?
Because some legislator asked for it. I'm sure the mayor preferred it.
Because it wasn't going to pass, dude. It's bad.
Nobody else wanted it. And that's the thing. I mean, and again, the people in the city of Detroit are going to be stuck with something. And this is the same thing with the insurance. It's like people in the city of Detroit are so overburdened with cost and fees and taxes and high rates that when they hear an inkling of savings in any degree, they jump on it. And even without the proper amount of information. We also looked at the placement of this on the ballot, that it's now being pushed to spring.
That's the question of the guests. Stop lecturing.
Oh, I'm not. I'm telling you.
No,
I'm having a conversation with Garrett. I'm having a conversation with Garrett.
No, you weren't. You were. I know you.
No,
you're my friend. Fuck that.
No, I know.
I know who you are.
But okay, but let's talk about that. In terms of the placement on the ballot, the timing, and the likelihood of. Okay, go ahead. You tell me.
Again, like I feel like we're arguing about things that we agree on. I don't like that. I would have liked the legislation better if it wasn't just limited to Detroit. I think you got some weirder end arounds or constitutional restrictions on local and private acts. We should be having state policy that affects
James, we're banging up on the time.
Yeah.
Yes or no on this shit?
I still kind of like it. I don't like that it's a May vote, but I still kind of like the proposal.
Would you vote for it in your community, James? Would you vote for it in your community?
Would you vote for it in your community?
I like land value taxes. This probably would mean that I would have to pay higher taxes. I don't really like higher taxes, but I do like the idea. So yes.
Would you vote for this in your fucking community?
Yeah, I mean, it would be give downtown Thumb in Midland a huge break, but I like the idea, so yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The libertarians are yes. Okay.
I know we'll talk about this going down the road.
This is bullshit, dude.
But that's okay. I want people to pay attention.
Respect, homie.
I enjoy talking to James. Very intelligent. I enjoyed the conversation. I don't, whether we see things or agree on it or not, I enjoy the conversation.
This is one of my guys. Yeah, I don't even go on air. Mm-hmm. I don't talk to James.
He's good.
Here's a critical combination where I don't agree with him, but I respect him. Yeah. And that
Well, all I want is the information. I want information, and I want information from both sides so that people can make an informed
Where's
decision.
the other side?
We don't have it. And James, you know, it's not out there. That's the thing. And I think, you know, residents who, you know, were just recently told, oh, the overassessment issue happened before this administration and this administration solved it, that's BS because it's not. You still
this
have
whole
people.
shit's crap.
Yeah, it is. And so
the fucking suburbs
don't
drilled
do
this
that.
crap.
Yeah.
In Detroit, let me tell you something.
Don't do it.
Don't believe James.
You want me to give you the other side of this? Because I think like there's some good points to be made. Like this is an important issue. Not everyone's going to like it.
And that's
I think
okay.
Charlie put on the most important thing. It's going to result in some inequities. Like a person owns.
Yeah, you look like Richard Burton. You look like Richard Burton. He got a fucking piece. He got a little bit of whiskey and his head turned red. But I'll tell you what, you look like Cary Grant. Fuck Richard Burton. He was never what Cary Grant was. Never. And you, sir, I respect you. I respect you, sir. I really do.
And I thank you.
I call you. You know, I'm going to tell everybody.
And he answers.
I called this man. He says, not a bad tax plan.
Mm-hmm.
In theory, is this correct?
Yeah, I like the idea.
In theory, but it's only theory.
Yeah, I mean, if this results in confiscatory taxes for everyone who owns commercial real estate in Detroit, I think there would be a bad effect and a bad thing to happen. I don't think that's going to happen here, but I don't know.
Cut him off. Get out of here.
No, but
You're out. Love you. Bye.
Bye, James. But that's the thing, though. We don't have all the information. We also have to look at the assessment process that is extremely that's extremely flawed in this city. I mean, let's not overlook that either. So you've got to have a process in place to make sure that those assessments are accurate. I mean, so you've got a lot of variables here.
That's a really
This is
important
why I
issue
don't
in
like
Detroit,
Hold on.
because,
He said that's important.
We do need. Yeah,
What'd
I
you say,
mean,
James?
we have a tax system that's supposed to be based on actual market values, true cash values.
Suppose.
Detroit was found by courts to have overassessed these things. We never really fixed the process. I don't know exactly what's going on with this that makes it harder for someone who's been overassessed to challenge their thing. But it happened. It probably still is happening in some places.
Admitted, James, you and I were talking last night. We couldn't figure out this tax scheme. We couldn't, right?
I think there was a question that you had.
Don't be an asshole.
I tried to get you an answer. I got a good part of an answer for it. I spent all morning looking for an answer for you, and now you're saying I don't have it.
How are we supposed to do it?
Well,
it smells to me like the suburbs don't want it,
Right.
and Detroit's going to get this on itself. And I'm not sure. And if we're not sure, we ought not fuck with the tax rate. Yes or no? Do it right now.
I mean, like I said, I still kind of like it, even with all the issues.
What did he say?
He said he still kind of likes it.
What did he say?
He said he still kind of likes it, and that's okay. All I'm not looking for him to say it's
Fair
good
enough.
or bad. I just want the information. I want both sides. I want all the variables. I want all those scenarios that could happen. What's going to happen after the first year? Which properties are going to have a positive impact, and which ones aren't?
No, James is.
I know, and
James
I'm not saying that's not.
douche. No, you're a douche, dude. Because this thing.
No, he's not.
No.
He's
I
Cary
gotta say.
No, he's not.
You don't have any numbers.
But he hasn't been giving it.
In principle, he likes it, but
And
you
that's
don't
what he
have
said.
any numbers. Is that true?
14% is the really important number here.
You're doing the
for a person who
14%.
is trying to.
Those are talking points.
Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
There's this thing from Wayne County I was looking at today. Assessment for every single parcel in Detroit. Theoretically, you can use that to answer that question of who's going to pay higher taxes, who's going to pay lower taxes. It's a massive spreadsheet. There's a lot of property in Detroit, but yeah, theoretically, you can use that to figure out exactly how many people are going to pay more, how many people are going to pay less.
But if you're looking at the increase too that they projected, what is it, $25 more? I mean, that's not.
I'm in the middle. I'm looking for numbers.
Okay, I don't think anybody has any.
Well, James, have you seen numbers?
Yeah, the last one that I think is important for the question that you were asked of how can we actually make up this revenue by charging these resident owners, an extra 25, or the vacant lot owners in residential neighborhoods, an extra $25. And the answer is they're not. Most of the land value in Detroit is in commercial real estate. Those people are going to be paying a lot more.
Where would that be?
In the land bank.
Where would that be?
Yeah, you look up at any of the major avenues in Detroit, anything that's zoned commercial, like on the sides of all those things is commercial real estate. And apparently that's 78% of the value of land in Detroit, which seems really high to me. That's what their assessments are saying.
You're checking what I'm saying. I don't see it.
I don't think that the taxes are the reason why people are not building in the city of Detroit.
I think the people of Detroit have to pay the tax bill for anybody that develops any.
That's what we're doing already. That's what we're doing already.
And he says, James says,
and I don't like that.
James says that it will come out even if you build a 30 floor. If you build a 30-floor
condo.
Condo. Thank you for that. Yeah, exactly. That somehow the money they're making in Detroit will make it even.
That's hopeful.
But it won't be because people in Detroit who make $100,000 a year will pay $2,500 a year plus their home mortgage.
Right.
The guy
and insurance.
The guy that lives in this new development doesn't pay nominally anything. Is this correct, sir?
Sorry. The question is between someone who's living in Detroit paying income taxes and who?
And new occupants for new developments and occupants in new developments.
So any person who's in a new occupant is going to be paying, paying rent to a landlord who's going to be paying more in property taxes because the property taxes
he won't be
still
paying
there.
more property tax. He'll be paying property tax on the vacant lot that he developed. He won't. The people living in there will pay nominal taxes, but the fucker that owns the home will be paying much more taxes. Is this correct?
So, if they went to a full
yes
land
or
value
no,
tax, yes
or no,
they're not. Then no, absolutely.
What
not.
do you
They're
mean
still
no?
Be paying 60 mils on property taxes.
You don't know, man.
They're not getting
what
rid
are you
of
talking
property
about?
taxes. They're just changing a portion of the property tax to a land value tax. So yes, a greater portion. For how long? For as long as. So that's a good question too, because it could be a permanent thing, at least until voters say otherwise. Or they could put a time limit on it. Like I said, there is no actual proposal in front of voters yet. They're just asking the legislature to give the mayor the authority to ask voters for this thing. So I can't tell you that answer, but that's a good question.
All right, James.
That's a good question.
We're gonna look into this and talk to him some more later.
That's a good question, said James.
Yeah, I know, but it is a good question.
Well, hey, man. By the way, you look like Cary Grant. You do.
All right, Charlie. We're over time.
We're over time.
Let's go.
Well, I could do this.
We don't get
night.
OT on this show, so let's go.
Me and this motherfucker, man. We talk. Thanks, bro.
Thanks, James.
Hey, thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
Fuck.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Guys.